What's up, sports fans? This is PB Sports. This is Wendell.
This is Josh. How we doing?
And we're coming to y'all today. Finna cover some Week 13 games and also previews some Week 14 games, give our picks, and also talk about a few discussion topics that we wanted to go over this week with you guys. And hopefully we get some interaction with you guys in the comments. Let us know your thoughts as well. We gonna also post some clips on Instagram. We want to see y'all comments as well.
Yep.
Gonna be big on interaction this week. So first things first, we gonna cover these Week 13 games. So we're gonna jump right into it.
Let's go.
First game we gonna jump into is the Cowboys versus the Seahawks, and man, what a game!
Best Thursday night game we've seen in a while this season for sure. You can probably go back to last season and not find a better game than we saw on Thursday night this week. Cowboys finally this is probably their best win of the season because this is their only win against a team that was above 500 on the year, so they can finally, I guess, feel like. In my opinion, they're still probably the worst 9-3 team we're looking at, but they finally got a win against a team that's above 500. They finally get to talk a little smack that might be a little warranted for now, but we'll see how this continues. But great offensive game for them. That defense looked a little shaky though. How do you feel?
Yeah, defense on both ends looks terrible. But I think, of course, when we think about how bad these Thursday night games been, I don't think defense has been the problem. It's been the offense. And this game definitely gave us what we was missing.
Yeah.
Man, I was not expecting DK Metcalf to come out there and just dominate like that. And then on the other end, my boy, what is his name? CeeDee Lamb.
I was all like, I ain't never seen you blank on a name. That's probably at first.
Yeah, CeeDee Lamb, man. He came out and went crazy too. The top guys was definitely in top form on Thursday, man.
Yeah, for sure. Geno Smith had a game too.
Yeah, Geno Smith had a game. Dak had a game. No picks. Oh my God, love that. Thank you, Dak.
I think everybody in Dallas loves that one.
Yeah,
no fucking picks from Dak, man.
Yeah, my backup QB for fantasy. He really came through. Great performance, great game. We was definitely happy with that. We hoping we can get some more Thursday night games like that, but I don't think the outlook is good. Who's playing next week? Like the Patriots and the Steelers.
That's exactly it. Patriots and the Steelers. That's gonna be an ugly one.
So bad they didn't even know who to put on the Patriots side, bro. They put up just Bill Belichick. They could have put up my dude Judon, but yeah, they just said, nah, we gonna go with Belichick. That's the safe choice here.
Yeah.
But so we'll take that. We'll just take that, and we'll go ahead and move on to our next game. We wanted to talk about that Saints in that Lions game.
Yeah, the Saints in the Lions game, it showed a lot for me for both sides for a couple different reasons. Honestly, I'm not a Derek Carr fan. We have made that perfectly clear in the past few episodes that we talked about him. But to go down 21-0 like you did, to get booed by your home fans, and then to have to deal with a goofy ass Jameis Winston patting you on the back, trying to pick you up, to deal with all that, to be down 21-0 and to only lose by 5. That's some great perseverance. That's a great job of trying to get your team back in the game. You worked your ass off. You came up a bit short, but honestly, I'll tip my cap to you on that effort. And honestly, on the other side of that, what the fuck is the Lions defense on, bro?
I don't know.
They've been struggling these past few weeks, and they in the past 3 or 4 weeks, they've given up the most yardage and I think the most points out of anybody else in the league over a 4-week span. So going into the playoffs and going into these last few weeks, honestly, if you're a Lions fan, you gotta kind of be worried about that, because when the playoffs come, your defense not stepping up, that's gonna be the deciding factor in one of them playoff games. Defense needs to step up in this little short time span that you got left, heading into the playoffs, so y'all can kind of have a decent run. And I'm rooting for y'all. I'm a Packers fan myself, but I love to see stories about teams and underdog stories, and y'all are an underdog story. So keep it up, man. But that defense needs to get a little tighter.
And yeah, I think you mentioned a 4-week period. I don't, know if I'm remembering correctly, but I don't know who it was we played, that time when that was going down, but I think it was us. So I think they went down the rabbit hole after they got that ass whooping that they got, and they just haven't recovered. But the thing that's going to make them a good team is when they do recover. How do you respond to adversity? So, what's going to really make or break their team is seeing if they can really make it out of that. But
and they have the guys to do it.
They definitely do. We've seen our boy J-Mo get in the end zone this week. Yeah. That was nice to see, man. Stop betting on games, man. Leave that to us. Leave that to us, man. We want to see you playing.
Yeah.
So congrats on him on scoring a touchdown this week. Obviously that had an effect on the game as they won by only 5 points. So so that was a game deciding touchdown. So we definitely love the Lions, bro, regardless of who division they in. So we happy for the dub, but y'all got to get it together on defense, man.
For sure.
Next up, and speaking of us, speaking of the Ravens, we had a bye week, but I just don't think you can have a better week than the week that we had. The only thing that could have made this week better is if the Dolphins lost. The Chiefs lost, who we was tied for first with. So now it's just us and the Dolphins. The Steelers lost, the Browns lost, and Jacksonville also lost. So the other team that we was tied with. So, we had a good week.
Yeah.
But I've never been a fan of those victories where they come in the fashion that these have done. It's just been injury after injury after injury. Next week we looking at, this week we had Joe Flacco, who is a former Raven, and I was expecting him to come in and not play terrible. He still put yardage up, and when you looking at passing yards, man, he didn't do terrible. So I think he is a valid backup, and I think he could probably get a win or two. So the Browns ain't completely out of it. Then you see the boy Browning come in and do his thing. We'll touch on that later. But then Pickett get hurt. So now we're looking at Mitch Trubisky now. It's injury after injury and injury. And, this division is very physical, so it's something that you can expect coming out of a very physical division. But, damn, man, y'all lost to the Cardinals, bro. That is terrible.
Yeah. We root against players, we root against teams, but we never root for somebody to get hurt. We never root for y'all to lose out on a job or in some way, shape, or form of injury. We want players to be healthy, but like you said, a physical division every week. These teams in your division, even if y'all playing outside division, the other team I think seems to take it more personal and more aggressive and take it up a notch, especially this year because that whole division is stacked. Everybody in the division is above 500, or the last place team is 500. So and still in the hunt for a playoff spot. So. Everybody that plays against them is taking it up a notch, and those injuries are playing, I think, a key role moving forward. I think teams can kind of smell blood in the water now playing against everybody in y'all division, even y'all a little bit, because y'all got some injuries as well. Thankfully, our quarterback is still intact. Not a lot of teams can say that right now.
Knock on some wood, goddamn, because Lamar got this habit of getting injured around this time every year. So we just gonna pray that he can make it through this season, because once he gets in the playoffs, he's been dynamic. He hasn't got to where we need him to do, winning the Super Bowl, obviously, but that first dub, watching him destroy the Titans like that, that defense performance, that was inspiring to watch. And I think that he gets another chance in the playoffs this year. I think we can take it the distance. So I'm definitely hoping for us to stay injury free for the rest of the season. We're getting some guys back from injury. So with Marcus Williams, hopefully getting Humphrey back. They have not closed the window on my boy Mark Andrews, but I like Likely. I think he's a nice tight end, and it's other tight ends there to sign as well in case he can't come back. But I think they're leaving that window open for him. Big injuries in the division. So thank you to the Rams and thank you to the Cardinals for giving those guys an extra L. We will take them anywhere we can get them. But unfortunately, the Dolphins did get a dub this week. They blew the Commanders out the water. not really much to talk about there. I don't know if you watched. Did you watch the Texans and the Broncos game?
I caught the fourth quarter.
That was a good game.
Really fun to watch.
It was a good game.
That whole time, it could have gone either way. Russell Wilson still was stepping up and playing doing his thing and trying to give his team a chance to win. That's all you can really ask for, especially in a situation like he's in. He's always running around. He got to avoid pressure almost every time. Jerry Jeudy ain't having the year. These past 2 years ain't been the guy that we really expected him to be. And I mean, that Texans defense is tough, man. That Texans team as a whole is tough, bro. They're really good, and honestly, it's a good time to be a Texas fan, right? Houston Texans fan right now, honestly.
Yeah.
Good on you. Shout out to CJ Stroud for proving me wrong, proving a lot of the other naysayers wrong, and going out here and stepping up for the squad, and stepping up for Houston, man. Shout out to him.
Yeah, bro, big dub there, and they, the AFC South is looking good this year. I mean, it's looking like it's gonna be some competition there.
Yep.
The Texans, they 7-5 now, so yeah, they not out of it by any means.
Nah, not at all.
Next game we want to get to is that fucking ass whooping that the Eagles was handed, man.
That was hard to watch. I ain't gonna lie. For such a highly anticipated game to go so south so quickly for y'all too at home. It was just, everything went wrong for y'all after that first quarter, bro. I mean, Christian McCaffrey carved y'all ass up.
Y'all was doing so good in the first half. It was going so good. I turned it off. I thought y'all had it. Like, I really thought y'all had it. And then I seen Brock Purdy starting to get into a rhythm. And I was like, man, this might not be over.
Yeah.
But yeah, bro, like that, it was really disappointing to see the Eagles respond the way they did once they got down. And Jalen Carter, what the fuck kind of comeback was that? You seen what he said?
Yeah.
I would rather cry about losing than crying about being broke. What, nigga? Like,
bro, just take the shit talking on the chin, bro. Don't be calling other folks broke. I feel like you in a situation where there's so many eyes on you, there's so much shit going on. Like, you look like KD when he first got to the Warriors and he was starting to troll folks and get on folks on social media. Like, you don't have to respond. You know, the best way to respond is come out next week and have a game. Like, fuck what other people are saying, to be honest. Like, I don't know. I was disappointed in seeing that.
I was too, because Jalen Carter, like, bro, the way you've been playing, you really could be a defensive rookie of the year candidate. I
was fucked up. When did somebody it was like somebody on the Giants or the Colts said the same type of shit. He was like, all these folks out here flipping burgers and shit. And he had to like go publicly apologize because people was getting on his ass. But ESPN like posted his response and was like saluted him, like, yeah, like look when he responded. I'm like, yo, like that's kind of like the same shit.
That had to be sarcasm. There's no way they said that's crazy. If they did that like that, that's crazy.
Yeah.
But you never gonna look bad insulting the people that's putting the money in your books, because you know they may be broke, but if they coming out there and they supporting, buying tickets, even if they are watching, their views,
all that shit goes back into your pocket.
So it doesn't make any sense. And don't turn on people the first time somebody say something. You play in Philadelphia.
Right, you should have the toughest skin out of everybody.
Thank you, bro. Philadelphia is like the toughest sports city in the world, bro. Ask Tyrese Maxey, man. It's not an easy city to play. Ask Donovan McNabb. Ask T.O.
Right.
Ask so many people, bro. It's not an easy city to play.
How quickly that fan base will turn on your ass, bro. It's crazy, bro.
And you just gotta take it, bro.
Yeah.
Get thicker skin, bro. That was.
Because at the end of the day, you're right. Everybody damn near broke compared to you, bro. Right, like you rich as fuck. Like you make hella bread. Like it's no real point of calling other folks broke when you got so much money. Like just take that shit on the chin. You have millions of eyes on you every time you step on the field. Somebody gonna talk some shit, especially when you crying over like you lost a Super Bowl or a state championship game. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
it's okay, bro. It's okay. It's a regular season game. We know what it probably mean for y'all being able to bragging rights and shit like that. But bro, it's still.
I mean, I didn't even have an issue with him crying. Like,
I don't care.
I don't have an issue with it.
I don't have a problem with people showing emotions, bro. You are a human being, bro. You gonna show emotions, and there should not be nothing wrong with it. I mean, you probably should, be more aware of what that could project. But me personally, I don't care.
And the internet's the internet, bro. People talking shit about folks on a daily basis about nothing.
Yeah.
Like doing way less than what you did. So like, bro, you can tougher skin is needed, but to give up so many points defensively like that, to let Deebo Samuel go off on y'all, just bouncing off the tackle was like it wasn't shit. Like, damn. He was playing like Deebo off Friday, bro. Like, he was fucking y'all up.
That boy like a pinball out there just bouncing off y'all ass, bro. And it really, I mean, y'all hit Deebo on my team. So, you know, I was cool with it. But I did want the Eagles to win, bro, because y'all won that game and against them in the NFC Championship, and it kind of does delegitimize it a little bit. But at the same time, it's a regular season game, bro. You get your L, you still are beating them. You still have a better record. Yeah. So, you know, you still beating them. So it's nothing to get down about. Y'all lock back in. Y'all probably get a dub next week. So moving on to y'all game, man. I'm gonna let you take it from there, big dog.
Chiefs fans.
Yeah.
Kansas City.
Yeah.
Where y'all at, bro?
Go Pack.
What y'all on, man? Go Packers, man. Go Pack, go. Y'all motherfuckers was talking big shit. Like, there was so many folks from Kansas City, or so many folks that fuck with Kansas City. Like, y'all was talking so much shit. It's crazy. And it was warranted a little bit, but at the same time, we them. We them when y'all don't think we them. I'm saying,
What is my boy?
and I'm going to keep predicting against the fucking Packers, because ever since I started doing that, y'all motherfuckers are winning.
I was about to say.
And y'all are pulling off upsets, like beating teams that y'all should not be beating. And Jordan Love, bro, 3 tutties, no picks, and he was only sacked twice. That tells me 2 things. One, that O-line did fantastic, and they did. But when he was under pressure, he was getting rid of that ball and putting it on his receivers. Dots. Straight dot. He was like, his form was Aaron Rodgers-like. I ain't gonna lie. Aaron Rodgers-esque. I'm very proud of that performance, especially on at the end when the calls were not going our way at certain times. That personal foul. I mean, people are gonna say certain things about it. There is politics in the NFL, bro. They gonna give Patrick Mahomes damn near everything, bro. Like, they love his dick in their mouth, so they gonna give it to him. If he going out of bounds, don't touch him. Don't touch him. Let him go out of bounds.
That was bullshit.
I agree. I do agree it was bullshit, but you gotta recognize who it is. There's definitely politics going on in the NFL. Can y'all please stop posting about Taylor Swift though? Like, it's been long enough. It's only a few more weeks in the season. By the time the Super Bowl come around, Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift will be broken up, and that bitch will be dropping another album. Okay?
Oh, we gotta cut that out. That was crazy. How they gonna kill you for that, bro?
Nah, I ain't cutting shit out. Fuck that. That's the truth. They don't want to hear the truth.
Oh, bro, you wild.
Man, cause that's just how she is.
Hey, Swifties, I ain't say shit. That was all him.
Y'all come for me.
Uninspired, not me.
I'm ready for the Swifties, bro, because y'all really think that bitch better than Beyonce, and that shit got me high already. So I ain't gonna say too much on that.
Mind my business.
Shout out to the Packers for getting the dub, man. I'm moving on.
Shout out to the Pack, man. Bad calls on both ends, which we are gonna talk about later. But yeah, I definitely want to give a shout out to the Pack, man, because that knocked the Chiefs off of the top spot in the AFC, and we are going to get to another team now that just got knocked off their top spot in the AFC as well. We had a 4-way tie, yeah, 4-way tie, and that is no longer. We tied 3 ways now. But man, that was hard to watch. The Bengals. Browning, you really did come in and you did your fucking thing. I said the last time we talked about you that you are no bum, no scrub, and that they shouldn't weed you out for the rest of the season. I don't think a single backup that they have in the AFC North right now is a scrub. I mean, Mitchell Trubisky, I don't care how bad they talk about him, that man got a Pro Bowl, and that's something that not even Joe Flacco, the quarterback who won Super Bowl MVP, no interceptions the whole playoff run on 12 touchdowns, that man don't even have a Pro Bowl. So that lets you know it's not a small feat. I mean, it is nowadays because, you know, they gave Derek Carr one. But, and Tyler Huntley, a backup. That was wild.
We never letting that go.
Yeah, the Pro Bowl selections last year was terrible. But it's not like they had a lot more options to choose from. But regardless, back then a Pro Bowl selection meant something, bro, and he has one. So and Joe Flacco, we just went over his resume, a Super Bowl MVP champion over Ray Lewis. I mean, come on, bro, like that man, he's no scrub.
Yeah,
and then I ain't gonna lie, I don't know who this backup is for the Jaguars. I've never heard of that man.
I haven't either. I haven't either. I'm not lying. I did not know who the fuck that was when he came in the game. I was confused as fuck.
It leaves me flabbergasted to know how many backups come in and you have never heard of them even in college, because it's just like, bro, all these big name college players that was in college and didn't even get drafted, and they actually were good in college. But yet some dude that we never heard of got slipped his way in there. You know, so it might have been a D3 guy, D2 guy that was just carving it up at that level and might have slipped under the radar. I don't know. But
I know we're a little late on this one. I'm a little late on this one because how we do our episodes now. But why the fuck did y'all do Trevor Lawrence like that, bro? Why the fuck did y'all make him walk all the way from the field through the tunnel to the locker room?
That was crazy.
That was fucked up, bro. And it had a police officer walking him, like one of the two people helping him there was a police officer. Y'all don't have like they got budget cuts down there.
They don't have staff for that.
What the fuck is going on?
Yeah,
I saw a tweet that said all them golf carts in Florida, bro. I didn't have one for him, bro. Like that was funny as fuck, bro.
That was wild.
It is also true. It's like, damn, like where's the cart at? Like I remember when Aaron Rodgers got hurt, he was on the cart immediately, and he got up off that cart and actually looked pretty normal when he was walking to the locker room. I ain't gonna fake it. But that man Trevor Lawrence could barely move his leg at all. Man, and that made me sad because I fuck with Trevor Lawrence. I fuck with his grit. I fuck with the way he plays. So that was kind of sad to see him go down like that and take the L. But Jay Browning did a great job. And like you said, he's no scrub, and he proved it on Monday night.
Yeah, we've been rocking with Jacksonville this year too. We big fans of the guy who gets the job done in the ugly way, the way that a lot of people don't think it's pretty. But the Jags, they actually was improving offensively before this happened. So that's another sad thing. He threw up 30 points and then you get hurt. So yeah. Sorry about that, Jacksonville fans. But you know, it's only a sprain from what I hear, so there's a possibility to be back. So, you know, don't give up hope just yet.
He's kind of 50-50 for this week. So even if he doesn't play this week, he will be back. So just keep y'all hopes up. You know, don't give up on you guys down there in Jacksonville because he'll be back. He'll be back.
All right, so yeah, that'll wrap us up for week 13. We're gonna run through these picks here for week 14. Let's do this. What's it called? Rapid fire.
Rapid fire. I was just thinking that.
Okay.
Pat Steelers.
Falcons. Bucks. Ravens. Oh shit, that was good. I'm sorry.
Shit. Who y'all got? The Rams.
Yeah.
Ravens.
Bears. Lions. Bengals. Colts.
Bengals.
Whoa, Bengals!
I'm gonna put some stock in Jay Browning.
Oh, he's fucking Jay Browning.
I ain't gonna lie, he played well. I like what they did because the Colts needed a lot of defensive help in that game against the Titans. So I'm gonna go Bengals. They're at home. I think they're gonna win that game.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna go Colts. We just split on that one. All right, Browns versus Jags, battle of the backups. Who you think gonna pull it off?
Ooh, that's gonna be tough, man.
I'm gonna go Browns.
I think I'm gonna go Browns too. If Trevor Lawrence does play, I got the Jags.
I'm gonna go Browns regardless, just because of that defense. So, yep.
Saints, Panthers.
Saints, easy money.
Texans, Jets.
Texans,
easy.
Vikings, Raiders. Ooh, this might be a good one.
I got the Vikings. I'm not losing faith in Josh Dobbs. I'm not losing faith in that offense. The Raiders do have a lot of momentum. They feeling themselves a little bit, but I got the Vikings busting their bubble a little bit.
I'm gonna go Raiders.
Okay.
All right, 49ers and Seahawks division game.
I got the Niners, bro. That offense is scary, bro.
Yeah, the Niners. I'm going Niners too.
No more Brock Purdy slander from anybody. I better not hear that shit.
Yeah, I'm not hearing it either. Yep.
There ain't no time for that. Bills, Chiefs.
Ooh, Chiefs and Bills. This is gonna be a good one.
I got the Chiefs.
If the Chiefs offense keeps struggling like it is, and considering how good the Bills defense is, and also Von Miller may or may not play. Von Miller play. I think I'm gonna go Bills. That's my defense I got in fantasy as well. Yeah, I'm gonna go Bills. I'm not gonna put them on fantasy because there is a chance that Patrick Mahomes carved him up because we know what he does after L's. Actually, never mind. I just talked myself into Chiefs. He's not gonna lose again. He's not losing after no L.
Broncos, Chargers.
Broncos.
Got the Broncos as well, man. Get bounced back after that dub. That Chargers offense.
Fuck the Chargers.
Shitty.
Fuck the Chargers. If anybody want Austin Eckler, y'all can fucking have him. Fuck him. I'm tired of this shit, bro. Giving me fucking zeros, bro. That was crazy.
Oh man, that Sunday night game though is gonna be fun to watch.
12 attempts on 17 yards. Are you fucking serious, man? Damn, that was terrible. Bro.
Eagles, Cowboys, bro. Division matchup, playoff implications. I got the Eagles bouncing back too. Them Cowboys gonna be feeling themselves though. It might be a shootout. It might be a shootout. Yeah, we'll see how that Eagles defense performs, man.
Man, Eagles, y'all better crush them. Crush them.
Monday night we got 2 games.
Fuck.
We got 2 Monday night games.
Damn. Y'all playing the Titans, man. I need y'all to lose.
The Dolphins.
Yeah.
I think after this game they got y'all.
Yeah.
In one game.
I know, bro. It's gonna be a game.
In 2 weeks they got y'all. They got a little tougher road after this week. So I got Dolphins this week though. Easy dub against the Titans. And then the next game is the Packers and Giants. I can't pick against them this week. Packers all the way.
Big pack.
Don't disappoint me, y'all.
All right, so that wraps us up for the NFL. You know, we covered week 13, and we also have touched on some topics. Touched on some things that we wanted to talk about. Before we jump into some of the topics we wanted to jump into, I want to see how you think the signing of Darius Leonard does for the Eagles. Like, what do you think that does for them? Do you think that actually makes them improve, or do you think it's something else?
Honestly, I think it's one of the things we're gonna have to wait and see. Cause I can sit here and say, yeah, it doesn't make them improve, but there's a lot of factors, especially with late season signing.
Yeah.
I think, is there gonna be enough time to build chemistry? Is there gonna be enough time to build that, and coming into a new locker room, you kind of gotta feel yourself out a little bit first. So in my opinion, I'm kind of on the fence. I really don't know, honestly. How you feel?
I think that he's gonna make an impact there, but I think the impact that they're gonna need is gonna be a vocal leader. When I think about who the vocal leader is on their defense, it's probably either Fletcher Cox or Brandon Graham. Brandon Graham is not playing the same minutes that he is. Fletcher Cox is still dominant right now, but I just think it just comes better coming from your middle linebacker. So I think that's gonna give them a little extra added motivation. But like you said, I think it is gonna take time. Darius Leonard is not a big dude. He can stop the run, but he's a very good coverage linebacker, and I think that's what they're gonna need. Yeah, they got the dude from Georgia coming in there stuffing the run from the middle linebacker. So I think a linebacker that's gonna be nice in coverage. I think that's just what the doctor ordered for.
Yeah, I agree. I was just about to say I agree on that standpoint. They do need some more help in coverage. And filling that void in the middle linebacker spot is definitely a good way to go about it. So we'll wait and see though. We'll wait and see what happens.
Okay, so yeah, bro. We definitely wanted to cover first and foremost the refs and how they have been reffing games. It is concerning. And it's not just the NFL, but it's become very apparent with the NFL because of how that game unfolded. But the NBA reffing is probably worse.
The NBA refs are highly overpaid, this is basically pickup basketball at this point. For years now, I've talked about the NBA refs because motherfuckers been allowed to take 5 steps before they put the ball on the ground, and motherfuckers just watching it happen. There was a guy who used to ref the NBA back in the 90s and in the late 80s, and they interviewed him last year, and he said, bro, I just want to see the game called how it's supposed to be called. I just want to see that. I just want to see people get called for travels. I want to see people get called for fouls when it's a foul. I want to see the refs actually do their job. Like, what is the point of having a ref if the rules aren't in place? Like, I know that I already know that there's games where they kind of tell them, like, hey, make certain calls and don't make certain calls against certain teams and against certain players, because there's viewership implications involved. There's other things in line with what the NBA wants to accomplish. But it takes me as a fan away from it, because I'm just tired of seeing like people like watch this shit and be like, I need to model my game after this person or this person. There's carries and travels and other type of shit going on in every game, and it is so annoying. But the NFL ref didn't used to be this way, didn't always be this bad. This shit is terrible. Like, you don't know what you're gonna get on any given basis. At least with the NBA, it's kind of consistent. At least I know that these motherfuckers not gonna get called for travel. These motherfuckers not gonna get called for certain shit. In the NFL, you never know what's gonna happen, and it's kind of annoying because the calls be obvious, the missed calls be obvious. But that's just my like little rant. I don't want to get too.
I feel you. Nah, like I think my biggest thing with the reffing is because we hear players say that playing for these big sports corporations is like slavery, and a lot of their complaints sound like shut the fuck up. Like, why are you complaining? But in this sense, I can see it, because it's just like, where is the accountability?
Yeah.
You know, if when I make a mistake as a player, I'm getting fined, and this bullshit fines going on. I think I've seen who I see say that, JJ Watt.
I saw an offensive player get fined for trucking somebody.
Like, come on, like
what the fuck?
Like JJ said, this is robbery. You are just taking these people paychecks because y'all want to, bro.
Yeah.
These is not warranted calls. A lot of them. And then also we have the absence of calls. I feel like we really should be able to challenge when there is a call that's not made. I mean, honestly, but
at least one per game.
Yeah, like one per game. But my biggest problem is the accountability. When I make a mistake as a player, everything is publicized. You know exactly what I've been fined. You know the dollar amount that I've been fined. Why the fuck does the public need to know exactly how much I was fined?
Yeah,
that makes no sense. But you leave that information available for the whole world to see when I make a mistake. But not only do you not tell nobody when you do anything, if you do anything to these refs, then on top of that, you penalize me for saying something about it.
Yeah.
I thought it was freedom of speech, but it's not freedom of speech against refs
who are like visibly terrible, visibly making mistakes.
Yeah, the whole bubble. What people got things on the back of their jersey talking about freedom and all this other stuff, but it's no freedom in that sense. Then in the NFL, you got freedom being put on some of the end zones. You can see that shit on Madden. I mean, they say that they are for all these forms of justice and all this other thing, social justice and all this other shit, but at the same time, you see that it's not true.
There's no justice in the league that they run.
Exactly. I just want. I don't even necessarily need y'all to fix something, because they are humans. They gonna make mistakes. But if I make a mistake as a player, I'm held accountable, and it's for everybody to see. They need to be held accountable for everybody to see it as well. That's how I feel.
I think at the very least, they should be fined. They should be, like you said, publicly. It should be publicly made known. Like, we as a league know that this was wrong. We as a league know that they made a mistake, and we are taking action. That's what we want to see.
Yeah, we have seen the NBA publicly admit that they missed something. You'll never see the NFL admit they wrong. So we know that that's not happening. The NBA at least has admitted when they made mistakes, but we need to see what the fuck you doing about it, bro. Yeah. We don't care that you made a mistake. That was obvious. We need to know what you're gonna do to make sure that this mistake don't happen again. Right. They're free to make mistakes because they people, but they do need to be penalized just like we are.
Exactly. Especially when you're getting paid such a high amount to be a referee, to call the game within the rules of the rule book. You should be following that rule book, and you should be held accountable if you make a mistake, especially obvious ones. Like you said, like, humans make mistakes, so that's not a problem for us. But it's when it's like it's affecting the game, it's affecting players' future. Like the roughing the passer calls, bro. that shit, I'm so over that shit. I understand that these quarterbacks, they are worth a lot of money. They bring a lot of people and fans to the game. But bro, there are 10 other players on the field for that team, and there's 11 players on the other side of the field that are trying to earn a paycheck, trying to keep their job, and y'all are straight not only taking their money but taking opportunities from them, bro. And it's fucked up.
Yeah.
Like, I shouldn't have to worry about how hard I come down on a player when I make a tackle. It's a physical game. Like, Tom Brady even said it, like, all the calls that are being implemented, all the things and regulations on defense that are being implemented, it's making it hard to do their job, and it's making skilled guys, it's making other players worse in the game because they're allowed to do certain shit. Quarterbacks are allowed to make bad throws into double coverage because the player's gonna get fucking sandwiched, and one of the players gonna get kicked out of the game for targeting or some shit. He gonna get fined or some shit. Like, it's annoying, bro. I just wish that a billion-dollar corporation can kind of just let the game be played how it's supposed to be played. Let the refs understand what's supposed to be called and kind of have a procedure. There's no procedure. They're just fucking going out there throwing flags willy-nilly. Milly-vanilly.
Yeah, well, I mean, we could talk about that.
We can go all day on that.
For hours. I mean, we got film. I mean, we was supposed to be doing a segment where we put the bag, missed calls, and all this other shit. We could definitely have started with as much as we wanted the Packers to win, we can agree that was definitely probably pass interference. But we're not going to accept y'all saying, you know, that caused in the game because there was so many calls that they missed on y'all end as well. Yeah. And it was stuff that they called that they shouldn't have called. We not like the roughing or the unnecessary roughness on Patrick Mahomes when he was clearly still in bounds. That was a 15-yard penalty.
Then the very next play there was a pass interference call that was
not pass interference. So I mean, we could go on and on about that. So we're not gonna do that though. So we're gonna move on to the next thing. Something else that I really did want to touch on. You know what? I'm gonna go in order since we talked about the NFL. I'm gonna stay on the NFL topic. So the running back renaissance in the league has been something that's been really concerning to me because I think the biggest reason is all a former division rival's fault. It's all Le'Veon Bell's fucking fault. I mean, you bring this attention to the position that you need to be paid a certain way. You hold out on your contract. You don't come to training camp. You're given this money and you perform like shit. Then you trade it after you've been paid and you still not playing very well. You're definitely not playing up to where we're paying you. And that has caused a downward slope. Just nobody being able to have job security as a running back. Because I said even then, it's almost as if there's not a such thing as a great running back. You just got great lines. And if you got a great line in front of you, anybody can run through that fucking hole. So that really brought attention to it. And now all the running backs in the league are suffering from it. I mean, but honestly, this year, we don't really have too many elite running backs. All we got is Christian McCaffrey and Derrick Henry. They so far apart from the rest of the running backs in the league, it makes everybody else look like they not doing anything. Yeah. But if you honestly sit there and you watch the games, you can tell the guys who's been performing at an elite level versus the numbers. You got guys like Pacheco. Oh my God, unstoppable, man. When he in that game, it's like you just turn him up and he just keeps going, bro. And you see it, you can hear it in the calls from other analysts while they calling the game. Other teammates that he got are running like him when they get the ball. Pacheco is definitely an elite running back. A Jaguars highlight playing in the background. That brings me to another one. ETN has been balling, getting a touchdown damn near every game. But then you have that happen with these elite running backs. And then you have the guys who show you exactly what they saying, where you could just sub them in. My guy from Indianapolis, Jonathan Taylor, he gets injured. They throw in Zach Moss. Zach Moss is playing very well. I mean, it's kind of obvious, bro, when you do that. And then you got the situation like in Pittsburgh. Najee Harris is not performing that great. But then his backup is playing just as good or if not better. It's not about exactly what people said is, if you are having the same amount of reps, I mean, you can see who is better, but he's still performing good. So, the running back renaissance in the league is something that definitely has to be looked at, bro.
It's concerning. It's very concerning.
They need to start structuring something. They have to get some type of structure to a running back's paycheck that gets them guaranteed money.
Yeah,
if they
gotta be
perform at a certain.
It's gotta be a baseline to it. Yeah, for sure. Because you're gonna see a future 10 years down the line. There's just not gonna be a lot of people playing that position no more. Because they're gonna say like, what is the point of me going to the league and maybe having like you said, no job security, no job stability. At any point in time, I can be performing at the highest level in the league and being disrespected like a player like Saquon Barkley was just a few years ago. Yes, he did get hurt. After the fact. But it's so many guys in the league that we can talk about that just doesn't get
running back. Aaron Jones. Injury. He came and Dylan, and he didn't even play good to start off, but he played his fucking ass off last year.
This guy's not getting their flowers as much as the other guys are, and like the quarterback position is the highest paid position on every team probably. Not probably, it is. And these guys are protected more than anybody else in the league. And I feel like if y'all didn't protect them as much, they would have the roughly the same amount of injury rate. It's quite close. Like, let's protect our running backs a little bit if we're gonna go that route.
Yeah.
Let's get but like you said, give them a baseline, give them something to where like there's incentives involved, there's something to where they're getting guaranteed money, because like you said, like there's gonna be a future that there's very little running backs and the game gonna look different.
Yeah,
the game's gonna be a different game.
It's almost not going. The running game almost is not going to be there.
It's gonna turn into 7-on-7.
It's not going to be a fun game to watch. Yeah. I don't want to watch a football game where the running back position is not involved at all.
Because you know how long them games gonna be.
Exactly. Like
all them incompletions and shit.
The clock just stops all the time because of incompletion. So yeah, I don't want to see the league go down to that point. So I think that I really hate that Roger Goodell never steps in when stuff is noticed. That's why Adam Silver is the best commissioner.
He's the worst commissioner,
He addresses issues as they come about, and he does stuff to bring excitement back to things that we see going down. And he doesn't wait for a committee to decide for him. Roger Goodell is not a good commissioner, and they really need to fire him, if we're being honest.
Bro.
But they keep re-signing his fucking.
He just got re-signed, bro.
He just got fucking re-signed.
I don't get that shit. I don't understand. There's a narrative that they want him to fulfill. There's something going on higher above him that, like, this is why I've always been a more avid fan of college football than the NFL, bro.
Yeah.
Because there's just more excitement involved, because there's not this added level of politics going on, bro. Like, you kind of seen it a little bit now in college, bro. A little bit like with pay, with NIL, and how much money these conferences are making. RIP to the Pac-12. But I'm not gonna touch on that right now. But yeah, I've always been a fan of college more than the NFL for these reasons, because it's just a narrative that they want to fulfill, and it's kind of just hard to see that some of these things aren't lined up and rigged and going the way that people higher up and the players and the coaches want it to go. So I'm just leave it there.
Yeah, so I mean that's how we feel about the running back renaissance, and you can see we're not really big fans of that guy who's in office right now. I mean, it's like, I feel like he's the Donald Trump of the commissioners. I mean, we only had like 3 or 4 if I can remember correctly, but he's my least favorite.
Yeah.
But I mean, he already jumped on it, so let's just jump into the CFP and how we feeling about that. I even closed the laptop, man.
CFP, man. I'm gonna touch on this first. They got it right this year. They got it with the 4 teams that were in it. They have it correct.
Wow, really?
Alabama is a better team than Florida State. No matter how you cut it, Alabama is better than Florida State. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to take anything away from FSU. Y'all went 13-0. Y'all did everything y'all could. Y'all did everything that was asked of y'all. Y'all lost 2 quarterbacks. Y'all stepped in with y'all 3rd string and won a conference championship game. Now, on what the college football playoff was supposed to solve was what's going on right now. Teams feeling, back in the BCS era, there was teams that were selected to play for the national championship game. There was multiple undefeated teams, or sometimes it would be 2 teams with 1 loss in the national championship, and there were teams left out with 1 loss, and they felt like they didn't get a fair shot at deciding who the national champion is. And I agree with that. That's why I was excited when they announced a playoff was coming in 2013. I was very disappointed by the higher-ups in college football to make it only 4 teams, because I knew it would not solve the problem. Because there's 5 conferences, well, there was 5 Power 5 conferences where you can have 5 undefeated teams, or you can have 5 very, very evenly matched teams with 1 loss, or there's 3 teams out of the 5 with 1 loss, and somebody's gonna get left out. It happened the very first year. I don't remember what team it was, but the very first year the playoff came, people were upset because their team was left out. The next year, it was the same shit. This year, it's the worst because you have to see an undefeated team get left out behind 2 teams with 1 loss. Now, like I said, I agree with the teams they put in it because Texas is better than Florida State, and so is Alabama. And Alabama just beat Georgia. There's no argument for me there. And anybody that wants to argue, please get in the comments and argue with me. I would love to hear it. But y'all dropped the ball. Y'all could have put an 18 playoff. Well, how y'all go from 4 to 12? I don't understand. Y'all go from 4 teams now. Next year is going to be 12 teams. 8 teams would have solved this problem already. And here's why. The numbers 9 and 10 teams are most likely going to have things going against them to where they don't even have an argument for the playoff. Let's go with this year for an example. If there was 8 teams in the playoff this year, it would have been Florida State, Georgia. I'm not sure who's at number 7 right now, but number 8, or Ohio State is 7, and number 8 is Oregon. Number 9 is Missouri. Number 10 is Penn State. Let's look at number 9 and 10. Missouri didn't go to a conference championship game. We lost to LSU, who's 9 and 3, and we lost to Georgia. Now, that Georgia loss is a really good loss, but the LSU loss doesn't look great on our record. Oregon is number 8. They only have 2 losses as well, but they went to their conference championship game, and the only team they lost to is Washington. They lost 2 games, and they were both to Washington. So they have the argument over Missouri. The next team is number 10, Penn State. They have 0 argument. They lost 2 games, and they lost to Ohio State, and they lost to Michigan. And they did not make the conference championship. They had no way to prove themselves otherwise above those teams in front of them. Texas, conference champion. Florida State, conference champion. Ohio State, the next up in their division, the only loss they have is to Michigan. So there's no argument from them 9 and 10, 11 and 12 teams to really say, oh, we got left out. But when you have a 4-team playoff, there's always going to be room for that next 2 teams to be like, oh, we got left out because like y'all wanted to see these teams are like, why did we get left out? We are more deserving. And it's frustrating because like I said, like I wanted this playoff. I wanted to see it. I mean, the FCS level has done a playoff their entire time in existence, and it's always worked. So I just don't agree with how y'all went about solving the problem because y'all didn't solve it. Y'all just made it y'all made it just with more teams kind of involved in the same situation. Like why are we left out? Why is this team above us? Why, you know what I'm saying? Asking those same questions that they were in the BCS era. But that's kind of all I have on that. Like next year we'll go to 12 teams and we'll see kind of guys. The problem with that is you're going to see guys sitting out for their college conference championship game. You might see teams lose their conference championship game on purpose for matchup situations because I'd rather be a 6 seed and play the 11 team than be a 4 seed and play this team, whatever the case may be. But you know, I digress on that. It's just kind of sad to see like my favorite sport in the world kind of just dropping the ball on so many different subjects, so many different times and chances that y'all had to really just quiet this noise and quiet this shit down. And this year is more evident than ever. Like Florida State, I feel bad for them, but I mean,
They doing too fucking much.
Yeah, it's a lot of teams it's a lot of people, fans and all that are doing too much with Florida State. Like, yeah, y'all went 13-0.
Y'all down to y'all third string quarterback.
Y'all down to y'all third string quarterback. And there's an argument from them. Ohio State did the same shit when they won the Natty. They were down to Cardale Jones.
But he played though before, didn't he? Like
maybe 1 or 2 games, yeah. That third string quarterback from Florida State, he did not play. He hadn't taken a snap out. If he did, it was like a couple. And here's the other thing. Ohio State played their conference championship game with their third string Cardale Jones, and that man went off. They had, I think, 40-something points that game. Florida State had 16. They won 16-6. The week before, Louisville gave up 38 points to Kentucky. So y'all don't really have, y'all arguments that y'all trying to bring up, like, they can be disputed. I promise you. Y'all don't have a real argument. And if y'all want to prove yourself, y'all have the biggest opportunity. Y'all finna play Georgia. I ain't gonna lie, they finna get scraped. Georgia finna fuck y'all up.
Oh, so they got one more game?
Yeah, they got they play the Orange Bowl.
Oh, well, shit, what we talking about?
It's not a playoff game, though.
But I'm saying, like, bro, like, regardless if it's a playoff game or not, these conference games, these have been deciding of what teams make the playoffs, right?
No, it's bowl game now. It's not a conference.
Oh, okay, got you. Okay.
I'm not huge into college, so it's okay. I'm
learning though,
but nah, it's the Orange Bowl. Okay. They finna play Georgia. Georgia's finna scrape y'all. I'm not gonna lie, because that third string quarterback, he's not it. I ain't gonna fake it. He is a freshman. I'll give him that. You know, he hasn't played. He was low, and y'all defense did play well. But
good experience.
Yeah, it's gonna be a good experience, and it's gonna be an opportunity for y'all to claim some shit and say, this is why we should have made it. Y'all fucked up in y'all decision. But in my opinion, they got it correct. Alabama just came off a win against Georgia. They've increasingly played better since the game against UCF. Following that Texas game, Jalen Milroe has been doing very well. He's a better quarterback than what y'all got going on right now. It is what it is. Next year, it's gonna be a 12-team playoff. There's gonna be a lot of teams involved, and don't run it back next year. Go 13-0 again. Get a number 1 spot.
12-team playoff, NCAA football coming out. Some exciting stuff coming with CFP.
Yeah.
I mean, with college football next year.
Yeah, it is.
So definitely excited for that.
Yeah, it is.
You know, you brought up, the guy sitting out, and that brings me to how do you feel about that? Like, how do you feel about the effort of guys that's sitting out? Do you think that has anything to do with them, or?
I see, and we talked, when you asked me about it earlier this week, I told you it's a double-edged sword. It's a double-edged sword because it's two sides, it's a two-sided coin, because I see why guys are sitting out for their bowl games and for late season games, because they have NFL aspirations. They don't want to get hurt over a game that they feel doesn't necessarily mean as much to them. But on the flip side of that, why are we playing these regular season games in the first place? To go and play an important bowl game or go play the playoff game. Like, if the national championship not involved, y'all not gonna play? I don't agree with that, because y'all just grinded it out with y'all brothers for 13 plus weeks trying to accomplish something, and now that y'all didn't make it to a playoff, y'all like, oh, I'm gonna sit out and get ready for the NFL. To be honest, like, most of those practices that y'all have leading up to a bowl game are kind of like skill sharpening up until 2 weeks out, and then y'all kind of getting ready for the team. But at the same time, if y'all take advantage of those practices, if y'all actually do the work that's required in those practices, y'all are getting yourself ready for the NFL. Y'all are getting yourself ready for that next level. Practicing the 40 time for the fucking NFL draft combine, that's not getting you ready for the NFL. That's what mostly I see every time, like, some dude is like, oh yeah, I'm gonna get ready for the NFL, and they have like they little posse with their camera crew, and they preparing. All they doing is practicing the 40. That 40 to me don't really mean shit, because it don't matter where you get drafted. You've proven yourself enough to have NFL hype. You go into the NFL. You're gonna get drafted, or you're gonna get signed somewhere, and it's all about proving yourself once you get there. That NFL draft combine, to me, especially the 40 time, is so illegitimate and does not.
Formality.
It's a formality, bro. It does not decide you as a player. We've already seen. I'm blanking on his name, but dude from the Chargers, bro, he got drafted so high, and he's
Queen.
yes, he's the worst out of all the receivers that was drafted this
I
past
wasn't
year.
expecting
Like,
that either.
You know, it doesn't matter where you get drafted. I agree that, you know, you don't want to get hurt, especially a bad injury, a really serious injury leading up until going into the NFL, because that can really hurt your chances of getting drafted or really hurt your chances of having a long career. So I do get it. But on the flip side of that, what type of loyalty does that show to your brothers? What type of loyalty does that show to the people that believe in you? And I'm talking about the coaching staff. I'm talking about the boosters, the people that are paying that NIL money for you.
Oh yeah, that would be in your contract if I was giving you an NIL deal. You gonna play that fucking bowl game.
Yeah, like
because that you playing in that bowl game gonna bring more notoriety to me.
Yeah.
So
and more revenue to your school, like especially if y'all win, like, and it's gonna bring more recruits. Like it's all a process. It all ties in. So I understand it. I understand people sitting out for the bowl games, but I really don't agree with it because it also makes the bowl games a lot harder to watch. Because these guys that are stepping in have not played all year. These motherfuckers are brand new to the game. They playing in the fucking Orange Bowl. They playing in the Cotton Bowl. Like, it's annoying when I see like a team like Ohio State. They half their roster probably not even gonna play in the game. Like, so we gonna have all these backups, all these freshmen that haven't had any experience leading up to this point, playing in your last game of the year. That kind of like what we've been fighting for, what we've been playing for. And now it just don't mean shit. Yeah. Don't mean shit. These bowl games really have less and less meaning now with the playoff, but also with these players sitting out because the players that we've been seeing and watching all season are not going to play. So it is very annoying to me when they sit out at such a high rate. Like it used to be like a trickle. Like when I first started watching college football, it was people here and there sitting out. You know, kind of like the highest ones, and now it's just everybody that think they want to get drafted is sitting out. Even from the teams that are 6-6, like the main guy on the team, the only guy on the team that's going to get drafted is sitting out. So now this team is going to be playing horribly in the biggest game of their season.
Yeah, I think Jadeveon Clowney, the earliest I can remember from when I started watching is the guy who sat out. And when that happened back then, people was questioning his work ethic. And now it's become so commonplace in sports that we don't see that no more. People don't question people's work ethic because of that. Mm-hmm. And that kind of brings me into what I was gonna address with this Angel Reese situation. You know, we don't really talk about women's sports a lot, but I thought that this was an interesting situation because of, and I feel like it might have been something that we really don't have access to knowledge to know what actually was going on. But from what she actually said, I mean, it's just weird. You know, you sitting out for, I mean, it's okay because it's college, so you know they dealing with a lot, whatever. But you're not getting paid. You're not getting paid per se per game that you play. You're getting paid your NIL deal, and that's just gonna be that. So I mean, it's okay in college, I guess I can see that. But sitting out for whatever reason other than a physical injury, to me, it just sounds like some bullshit. Like, why aren't you playing? You know, we pay our money to see these superstars play. We pay our money to expecting you to be at the game. I wouldn't have paid for this game had I not known that you was gonna play. Right. I wouldn't have been in this build. I wouldn't have made the, like, you don't know how much goes into somebody playing the game. And like Jalen Carter said, they broke, bro. You don't know how much money somebody spent to be in the building for a game that they suspected you to be at. Right. So that's something that just really bothers me, bro. I don't want to continue seeing people sit out. In college is one thing, but a professional sport, it shouldn't be happening at all, bro. You are literally getting paid to play. Your contract should be dependent on how many games you play. There's no way you should be sitting out from an injury and getting paid the same amount. You should be getting paid something, especially if you was injured, you know, during the game. Because you know, if let's just relate this back to real life. You get injured on the job, you're gonna get paid out a certain amount. Right. So let's just look at it like that. But if you just getting injured like a motherfucker, like David Njoku burned his fucking face, and he played. I digress. But if he was to sit out due to that, it's understandable. But you didn't do that playing football. You did that doing stupid shit.
Who was it that just recently hurt himself? Who recently hurt himself like mountain biking or some shit? Try to say it was a hit and run.
Oh, wasn't that Kelly Oubre or something like that? I didn't know what happened with that. That's what happened?
Yeah, basically. So a lot of professional athletes in their contract, it say that you can't do certain shit that'll potentially have injury because they're paying you to play. So you can't go do like mountain biking for one thing because it's like a
Risky thing.
It's a risky thing. It's something that you can get injured for or from, and it'll prevent you from playing the game that you are getting paid to play. So he tried to make it seem like it was a hit and run, and eventually came out like no one hit his ass with a car. He fucked up riding his bike, and he fell, and he hurt himself, and he was trying to save his ass basically. I agree with what you're saying because. And I'm gonna go a step further. If you are sitting out for a non-physical injury that you have sustained on the field or on the court that you are playing on or in practice, I'm taking some of that. Like, that's a fine. That should be a fine, bro. Like, what is that shit they call it now in the NBA? Workload? Like a workload break or some shit? Yeah.
It'll come to me.
Yeah, something like that. So, like,
Load management.
I do not agree with that shit.
Throw that shit out.
Y'all have physicians. Y'all have team doctors. Y'all have team psychiatrists. Y'all have all these different and then y'all getting paid millions of dollars. Like, even if y'all don't have a team psychiatrist, y'all can get you can go and get a psychiatrist your damn self, bro. Like, all this money that people spend on their bodies in the off season. Why don't I not see that same take care of your mind. Why do I not see that same effort being put in during the season? Why in the offseason y'all spending $1 million on certain things to make your body or get you more physically fit, but then when you get to the season, like, motherfuckers taking off because they rolled their ankle 2 weeks ago. Like, you're okay. Take that shit up and go play. Or if you a little tired, so you know what I'm saying, you want to go sit out, like, bro, like Wendell said, there's more than 90% of the people in that building or in that stadium that's watching you, like, really had to budget that shit out. They had to put that shit in their budget of that month to make sure that they can afford going to watch you play. And some of them can't even afford it. Like, some of them are like literally like spending their last dollar. They're gonna be dead broke the next day until they get paid again to go watch you play. And you sitting out, that's such a slap in the face, bro.
Yeah, we don't agree with that.
I don't appreciate it at all.
You shouldn't be doing that to
like
spend your last. But we don't condone that shit. But
I also don't condone a lot of people putting so much money on these bets.
I knew like folks
talking about they losing, they can't pay their rent because they put a bit. Like, why are you doing that?
We not gonna condone no stupid shit. Period. Bro. Like, you should be more understanding. We appreciate the guys like Anthony Edwards, and I wanted to have a list so bad, but I couldn't think of a single other player that just comes out like that with that mindset.
I recently saw Marcus Smart going off on the Memphis Grizzlies in their last game, and one of the points he made was that same shit. Said these people are paying their good, hard-earned money. Like, we got it so easy compared to regular, hard-working people, 9-to-5ers, bro. Like, y'all have it so easy, and it's like if y'all not playing a game, this just NBA talking about NBA folks. If y'all not playing a game, you're either on the plane or you're going to practice in the morning and then you got the rest of the day off. Why are y'all not seeing a psychiatrist or a team, or like if you're banged up, go see the team doctor, get into the rehab? Like, why is it that, like, if you're not at 100%, but you at like an 85, 90%, like, you just don't feel it that day, why are you not playing? I just don't get it, bro. Like, there has to be some type of fines going on. That shouldn't come and resort to people like, oh, we finna put in an in-season tournament to try to make y'all play for something in the regular season because y'all just not playing. I like the in-season tournament, but the fact that they had to do that for y'all to, like,
play more, play better. And I've seen LeBron since the play-in started. It's just been days where I just seen this motherfucker sitting down, but then the next day he coming out playing and slamming on motherfuckers' heads. Like, you was fine the day before too, man. But you know, I really didn't understand why. I want to call this man Lou Alcindor. Well, I can't think of dude's name right now, but the GOAT skyhook man from the Lakers, bro. I didn't. Yeah, I couldn't understand why he hated LeBron, but now I do. I mean, it's sickening to watch somebody, but at the same time, it's just like, you know, he still scored more points than you, so he did something right.
I think that is even a more reason that why he hated him. Because like, bro, this motherfucker taking breaks and shit. He still beat my record, bro. Like, that's fucked up. I get it, bro. I'd hate him too if I was Kareem, bro. I fucking hate him too.
But yeah, bottom line, bro, we want to see that shit stop, bro. If you can play, if you're good to go, you should go. If you can't be good to go, we not saying that we don't understand it, but you should not be getting paid for it. And honestly, the teams need to do a better job of making that information known as soon as it's known. As soon as y'all know, that needs to go on the injury report.
Right.
Because like we just said, people are making changes and doing what they need to do to get to the game.
Yeah, they making plans to go see y'all, bro. Like it's like taking a family trip to Six Flags. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'd be disappointed if I took a trip to Six Flags, like spent a lot of money to go there, and the rides are closed or the whole water park shut down. Like, that's fucked up. Why didn't you even tell me that?
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
So yeah, we want to see that limit. We want to see that limited. I wanted to give a shout out to Sha'Carri Richardson on winning the Jackie Joyner-Kersee USA Track and Field Women Athlete of the Year. It's impressive just because we all know what happened beforehand. It just seems like it's just harder to be a black athlete than it has ever been. We face all these, we face scrutiny for shit that a lot of times when it's a white person, you might not, they get a pass for it. We not gonna say no names, but it's a similar situation going on in the NBA. But that motherfucker is playing right now with some serious ass allegations, bro. And you know,
why is the investigation taking this long? I really don't get it.
They say that girl is not cooperating because Josh Giddey probably paid her parents. That's just what I'm thinking. But yeah, anytime something else, I mean, we definitely not perfect. We have black athletes doing stupid shit all the time. But when we do the stupid shit, we held accountable for it immediately. And sometimes they are given passes. We've seen that she was not able to participate in track, and because she smoked some weed, and there was a white athlete who smoked some weed, and she got to participate. I mean, it just doesn't get any more black and white. And I'm not even saying, no pun intended, but it's just literally black and white, clear as day. That's some bullshit.
Yeah.
Just let her play. I mean, it's weed. It's not like it's an upper, so you know, I just don't understand why that would. Yeah, it's not a performance enhancement.
Right.
So I just don't understand that. But against all odds, you know, she was not able to perform, and we seen how she responded. She got back to that shit. I mean, she got back into a separate race. She didn't perform well, and then we didn't see her take the humble route. And a lot of people turned against you. We did not turn against you. I mean, just for me. From my perspective, we just wanted to see you take a more humble approach. You accepted this award, and it seems like you came to your senses completely, and you're a lot more humble and a lot more sweet. That is gonna make you more endeared to fans anyway. So I appreciate seeing that. That's growth on her part. That's growth from winning the award. The dude Noah Lyles that everybody hates. He won the Jesse Owens version, the male version of it. So I mean, shout out to both of y'all.
I mean, and touch on the how hard it is for like black pro athletes now. I totally agree, because like you said, like we're seeing it in a few different sports. How it's like it's a black and white type of thing. And Sha'Carri Richardson, I think, is kind of learning, like, I can play the game that y'all want me to play. It's a game that black athletes have to play versus white athletes. Like, you kind of have to.
Oh shit, Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark, that situation.
That whole thing, like, it's
everybody, they saying Angel Reese needed to be more humble, and she didn't do shit different than what Caitlin Clark did. But you know,
it's exactly what you're saying. It's a certain game that you got to kind of learn to play when you're a black athlete. The sooner you do that, and you just keep answering the bell as far as physically, and as far as on the playing grounds that you play on, or whatever sport you play, That's kind of how you're gonna find success as a black athlete. Just play the game that the higher up white people want you to play, and just keep performing. Like, it was fucked up what happened with Sha'Carri Richardson and that whole weed situation. That was terrible, bro. Because like you said, it's not a performance enhancer. It's not helping you in any way, shape, or form. Especially with track, I wouldn't be able to run. I wouldn't be able to run.
There's no way.
There's no fucking way.
You stronger than us just for trying that.
Right. Shout out to you. Like, bro, I was like,
I'm sure every stoner in the world heard that and was like, "What the fuck?"
Right. Like, you
running high.
Like that impressed me. Like, that made me more of a fan of you when I found out you were smoking weed and running and winning races. Like, damn,
That's
girl,
crazy.
That's crazy. But yeah, it's just a game that I think she's realizing, like, I could play this game that y'all want me to play, and I could still beat these other white folks and all these other people that I run against, bro. So, I mean, shout out to her. Congratulations on your award. Yeah, that's all I got on that.
Yeah, man, we touched on a whole bunch of different stuff this week. We even touched on some stuff we never really talk about. But, you know, we love sports as a whole. And, you know, I seen it, so I had to speak on it because, you know, it makes me happy to see people, we happy to see anybody perform, but especially for me, you know, any black athlete that's doing well, I shouts out to you, hats off to you. And like he said, it's a game that we play in sports, and it's a game that we gotta play every single day. And it's not
even in like your job,
in my job.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you gotta kind of act a certain way around certain people to just avoid confrontation and avoid certain things, bro.
I can't even fucking wear my hair a certain way because it makes people uncomfortable. It's a game that you have to play as a black person in America. So being able to navigate, play that game, and still be successful as an athlete, against all odds, and whatever you do, you know, shout out to you, whoever watching this, all of y'all watching this, anybody supporting us, we thank y'all for supporting, tuning in this week. We are signing off, and see y'all later.